Today, let's finally talk about Bali. I'm in Bali for 1.5 months already, but I was so stressed out in the beginning when I was planning the trip. Already said goodbye to most of my relatives. I will forget something. It all seemed so difficult. I wasn't sure about the finances. How much do you need there? Because everyone was talking something else. I wasn't sure that I prepared all the documents. In the end, everything turned out really good because I was prepared. I had everything ready. Today, I'm really happy to share this information with you, to anyone who is thinking about traveling to Bali or even getting a one-way ticket and maybe working as a digital nomad here. Today we'll be mainly focusing on the practical things, what you need to prepare to go to Bali, and how much does it cost. I have a computer by my side because I wrote all the costs and different rules you need to take into account. So let's start. Some of you are so confused where to find this all information. It seems so difficult. You need visa and all kinds of documents, but actually there's a very nice website, bali.com, that answers all of these questions, from the travel insurance to visa, to regulations, and super easy. Because I can't go into detail about every single thing, I will explain to you the things that I had to do, but depending on your situation that I will explain further, you will need to check yourself deeply, but there's everything on this website. So let's start with what you need to do to enter Bali. You need to either be fully vaccinated, you have to have 2 doses. Johnson & Johnson counts as 2 doses. You can be unvaccinated, but only because of some medical issues and you have a note from your doctor. You can also have 1 dose if you have recovered from COVID. That's it. So officially you need some sort of proof of vaccination. They didn't scan my COVID certificate neither in Latvia nor in Bali. They just quickly checked in Latvia if there was my name and if I have 2 doses, and also quickly looked at it in Bali when I arrived. So they didn't actually scan it. What you need to have is passport, obviously. ID card doesn't work here, and passport needs to have 1 empty page, and it should be valid at least for 6 months from the day of your arrival. Then what you obviously need to have is a ticket. In my case, I had a one-way ticket and it costed around 500 euros. I was flying with 1 stop in between in Istanbul. I was very lucky because Istanbul has really good service and quality. If you have the opportunity, I really suggest you to fly with Turkish Airlines. Then what I needed to have is also insurance. Right now, as I checked, it is not mandatory but really suggested because medicine in Bali is quite expensive and not that accessible. That's why I really suggest you to get an insurance. You can get it from Safety Wing. I know that most of the digital nomads do it, and it costs you around 40 euros for 4 weeks. What is interesting is that it is mandatory to have a returning ticket from Bali. You know that it wasn't my case really because I had only one-way ticket. So what I did is that I found a flight back home that is within the 30 days. If you pay the small amount, 20 euros, and then if you decide to actually buy the ticket, your price won't change. And that's what I did. I bought for 20 euros this option, and I had a valid ticket that I'm actually going home. I never bought the whole ticket back. What I would also suggest you to prepare is a Wise card, because with Wise card you get like Indonesian rupees as a currency on your card, and you don't have to pay commission. You can withdraw money without commission. Then what I did at the airport, we needed to download Pedulinggi Lidungi app and create an account there. Sounds something very difficult, but they will tell you what to do at the airport, or you can do it beforehand, doesn't matter, but basically you just upload the app and register there. Then you will need to sign an electronic custom declaration form. Also sounds difficult, super easy, just you have to fill out one form. If you don't do it beforehand, you'll just have to do it in Bali airport, I think, so no worries about that. Just saying that you maybe need to remember to write it in your checklist. Then when you arrive to Bali, you'll have to buy your visa, and there are different options for visas. I won't go into much detail, but if you want to come only for 30 days and then with possibility to extend for 30 more days, so 60 days in total, you can get visa on arrival. I'm from Latvia, so for all the Latvians that works. I cannot promise about other countries, you have to check the list on the website. After those 60 days, if you want to still stay in Bali, you have to go to another country, then come back and get visa again, or it is better suggested than to buy a business visa, which is more expensive, but then you don't have to travel away, and traveling actually costs also some money. So in the end, if you already know from the beginning that you're staying for many months, it is better to buy. Then you're following the rule, you don't have to travel away somewhere, and in the end it costs basically the same amount of money. But in my case, I will stay longer than 2 months, but I didn't know that in the beginning because I didn't know if I would want to stay in Bali. I will need to travel away. And then when you arrive at the airport, it's very suggested that you exchange some cash immediately at the airport. It is trusted, there is a good exchange rate, so do it right away, because you will at least have to pay for the taxi on the first day, and obviously in some places only cash is accepted, so really suggest that. We arrived in Bali.
Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot.
It's really hot. It's 8 in the evening here, and it's really hot and wet. There were like some 5 stops to fill out different documents, visas, but you know, it's all worth it. So it took us around 20 euros from airport with taxi to our booked Airbnb. And then prices for living, it really depends. I will share how much I spent and what are the possible range of spending depending on your needs and comfort levels. In the first month, what we were doing with my friend, and that's why we were paying per night, we were changing our Airbnbs quite often. You can find prices if you pay per night ranging from 10 euros per room to infinity. We were choosing Airbnbs and rooms from 25 euros to 50 euros per night, and dividing it by 2 because we were 2 people. You can count how much that would be for you, but it is really possible to find pretty amazing places with pool, pretty clean for 25 euros. But now in the second month, I'm renting out for the whole month, and then it's way cheaper, and I also am not renting anymore from Airbnb, but directly from the landlord. In that way you can find really good options from 350 to 500 euros. You can also find cheaper, but I don't believe they'll be as clean or as comfortable, but from 350 you can find a room in a good villa, but it depends where you live, in which city, and in which conditions. For transportation and how you move around Bali, there are several options. You can go by taxis or by motorbikes with local people. The local comes on a motorbike and you sit behind him, and there is an app that is pretty convenient. It's like any taxi that you can order online in Latvia, the same is here, but also motorbikes, which is pretty cool. Then I would say you would spend 100 euros or even 150 euros per month, just because in the beginning you will not know what is the normal price to give, and it's all based on bargaining. And as for us girls, it was pretty difficult to bargain the price as we are not used to it. But now I rented my own motorbike for a month. We finally sat on bikes. At first it was really scary, and you can easily find it from 60 to 90 euros. a nice scooter or motorbike. It will be only like 6-7 euros for fuel per month, so pretty cheap. If you have the opportunity and you're not scared, I really suggest motorbike. I was so scared in the beginning, but now it feels so nice to have this freedom to go anywhere you want. It's not that expensive, and I also bought my own helmet so that I don't need to rent someone else's helmet, which is often not that clean. Helmet also could cost from 10 to 20 euros. Then you will need around 20 euros per month for the internet, depending on your needs. Around 6 to 10 euros for laundry. About sightseeing and entertainment, really depends on your needs, but if we count that you go to one event like meditation, yoga, some party, and to one sightseeing object per week, then in a month I would say you will spend maybe 25 euros for sightseeing because it's really cheap, and maybe around 40-50 euros for events. So if you go once a week to such event, I would say I'm spending a bit more because there are so many nice places to do, like to go to bachata, to go to massage, to go to ecstatic dance or yoga, but depends on your needs. For food, you can find really affordable options in the local places like Varungs. Then you pay like 2-3 euros per whole meal with a drink, and it's actually really good. There are also vegetarian and vegan options. If you go to some international place, not international, just a cafe that is not made by local, usually you would spend around 6-9 euros per meal, but the cafes are just really good. At the first weeks, me and Paula, we were obsessed with cafes. It's so aesthetic, so beautiful. But now when I'm in Ubud, I found really nice varungs and local places, so I'm mixing. So I would say if you go once a day to the cafe and once a day to the varung, you would need 315 euros, but I would say it's pretty cheap. In the first weeks I spent much more, so I would add at least 100 more to this price just for snacks, for some fruits that you buy. All of this I would also add some 50 or 100 euros for some other expenses, some small entrance fees, or here and there you need to buy something. So that's it. Somewhere here you will see the price, the total budget you will need. I will show you really affordable options, a middle option, and some more really comfortable option depending on your needs. But and as you heard, you can find really cheap options if that's your goal, and it's fine. With time you can just increase your spending, or you can also go full in with comfort, stay at really luxury beautiful villas if that's your wish. And that's it for today. If you will have some more questions, and I have some other topics like accommodation, where to find it, how safe is Bali, where to go socialize, like daily things, questions you would ask yourself in Bali. If you're interested, I can make a separate video on that. I'll really appreciate your support by any reaction, any feedback about this video, because this is something new for me, filming like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.